John Cena stands at the entrance ramp. 2,500 ECW fans in the Hammerstein Ballroom want him dead. Not storyline dead. Actually dead. His WWE Championship weighs 20 pounds, but feels like 200. What happens in the next 90 seconds as He walks to the ring isn't about courage. It's about a man choosing to enter hell knowing he won't be welcome in heaven either. June 11, 2006. Hammerstein Ballroom, New York City. The spiritual home of Extreme Championship Wrestling. ECW One Night Stand. The building holds 2,500 people. Every single one hates John Cena. Not heel heat. Not working heat. Real, visceral, personal hatred. They're not here to boo the character. They're here to destroy the man. To understand why, you need context. ECW died in 2001. Killed by WWE's money and mainstream expansion. The hardcore wrestling promotion that changed everything, absorbed and sanitized. Their heroes either retired broke or became WWE employees. Their legacy reduced to nostalgia merchandise. These 2,500 fans never forgave, never forgot, never moved on. Now WWE brings back ECW for one night. A nostalgia show. A cash grab using their pain. And worse, they send John Cena. The antithesis of ECW. The corporate champion. The PG superhero. The handpicked golden boy. Everything ECW stood against. Sending Cena to ECW One Night Stand is like sending a taxman to a revolution. He represents the empire that destroyed them. Backstage. 30 minutes before his entrance, Cena sits alone. The ECW originals avoid him. Not personal animosity. Professional distance. They know what's coming. Terry Funk, the hardcore legend, walks by. Stops. Looks at Cena. Says 5 words. Don't die out there, kid. Not joking. Not working. Genuine concern. Paul Heyman, ECW's mastermind, now WWE employee, finds Cena. Explains the reality. These fans aren't playing. They're not here for entertainment. They're here for blood. Your blood specifically. I can't control them. Nobody can. Once you go through that curtain, you're on your own. Cena's facing Rob Van Dam for the WWE Championship. RVD is ECW royalty. Their chosen one. The match is academic. Cena will lose. Everyone knows it. This is about humiliation. About ECW fans getting to destroy WWE's poster boy in person. The match is just the excuse. The real show is Cena's destruction. The production meeting earlier was tense. Vince McMahon himself worried. Suggested sending extra security. Changing the match. Protecting his champion. Cena refused. Said if he can't handle hostile crowds, he doesn't deserve to be champion. Vince's response. This isn't a hostile crowd. This is a lynch mob. Edge, who competed earlier, returns from his match bloodied. Real blood. Not belating. The crowd threw things. Batteries. Coins. Lit cigarettes. Security did nothing. ECW fans policed themselves. Edge warned Cena. They're saving everything for you. I got the appetizer hate. You're getting the main course. Cena starts taping his fists. Ritual preparation. But tonight's different. Extra tape. Knows he'll need protection. Not for fighting. For blocking. For covering. For surviving what's about to be thrown. Physical objects. Verbal assault. Pure hatred concentrated in 2,500 throats. His music hits. My time is now. The opening notes usually bring mixed reactions. Cheers from kids. Boos from smarks. Tonight brings something else. Rage. Instant volcanic rage. The entire building erupts in hostility. Not heat. Hatred. The kind reserved for war criminals and child killers. Cena steps through the curtain. The wall of sound hits like a physical force. Every person screaming. Not booing. Screaming. Death threats. Personal attacks. Things about his family. His mother. His existence. Signs everywhere. Die Cena Die. If Cena wins we riot. FK Cena, but spelled out. No censorship in ECW. He starts walking. The ramp is maybe 50 feet. Feels like 50 miles. Every step deliberate. Can't show fear. Can't run. Can't hesitate. Has to walk normal speed. Has to pretend 2,500 people don't want to physically harm him. Has to be John Cena, even when John Cena is the last thing anyone wants. Objects start flying immediately. Cups of beer. Full ones. Coins. Batteries. Someone throws a prosthetic leg. An actual prosthetic leg. Cena doesn't flinch. Can't flinch. Flinching admits they're getting to him. Lets his shirt get soaked in beer. Lets coins bounce off his chest. Keeps walking. A fan jumps the barricade. Security tackles him. Barely. The security is minimal. Intentionally. ECW shows pride themselves on fan interaction. The barrier between performer and audience deliberately thin. 3 more fans test the barricade. Waiting. Seeing how far they can push. Cena reaches ringside. The front row is screaming directly at him. Inches from his face. Spit flying. One fan throws a punch. Actual punch. Security watches. Does nothing. Cena sidesteps. Doesn't retaliate. Can't. If he throws one punch, it's a riot. 2,500 versus 1. He loses that fight. He climbs the ring steps. More debris. Someone throws a chair. Metal folding chair. From the crowd. Hits the ring post inches from Cena's head. He doesn't acknowledge it. Enters the ring. Takes off his shirt. The crowd gets louder. Throwing it becomes a challenge. Fans compete to hit him. His shirt is custom made for tonight. Not his usual bright colors. Black. With a target on the back. Literal bullseye. Cena's idea. If they're going to hate him, lean into it. Give them what they want. Make himself the villain they need. The shirt gets thrown back immediately. On fire. Actually on fire. Someone lit it. Rob Van Dam enters to a hero's welcome. The building shakes. Not metaphorically. Structurally. 2,500 people jumping in unison. Chanting RVD. Chanting ECW. Chanting fuck you Cena. The referee, ECW original, smirks at Cena. Even the official wants him dead. Before the match starts, Cena does something unexpected. Takes the microphone. The crowd gets louder. Impossible but true. He waits. 30 seconds. 45 seconds. A full minute. Just standing. Absorbing their hate. Feeding on it. Finally speaks. One sentence. I'm still here. Drops the mic. The crowd explodes. Rage multiplied. How dare he speak? How dare he stand? How dare he exist in their temple? Someone throws a toilet seat. An actual toilet seat. Where did they get a toilet seat? How did they get it past security? ECW fans find a way. The match begins. Every move Cena makes is booed. Breathing is booed. Existing is booed. When RVD hits him, the crowd counts along. When Cena kicks out, they threaten murder. Not chanting about murder. Individual, specific, detailed threats of murder. Cena wrestles smart. Knows he can't win. Not the match. RVD is winning. That's predetermined. But can't win the crowd. Can't get respect. Can't be cheered. So he does the opposite. Amplifies their hate. Uses their energy against them. Becomes the villain they want. Needs. He throws RVD outside. Follows him. The crowd surges. Security holds barely. Cena Irish whips RVD into the barricade. Right where the most violent fans are. Forcing security to protect RVD from his own supporters. Genius heel work disguised as face wrestling. Back in the ring. Cena hits the 5-knuckle shuffle. His signature move. The crowd loses their minds. Someone throws a roll of toilet paper. It unravels mid-flight. Streamers of hatred. Cena does the move anyway. You can't see me. While they're trying to blind him with debris. Then something shifts. Subtle. Some fans start laughing. Not at Cena. At the situation. At the absurdity. This man taking unprecedented abuse and asking for more. Taking their best shots and standing. A few, maybe 50 out of 2,500, start respecting the balls it takes. Edge returns. Spears Cena. Not planned. Not scripted. Or maybe it is. Nobody knows. ECW One Night Stand exists in kayfabe limbo. Edge leaves through the crowd. High-fiving fans. Everyone united in Cena hatred. The referee doesn't disqualify. ECW rules. No rules. RVD hits the 5-star frog splash. The finish. Covers Cena. The referee counts. Slow. Deliberate. Milking it. 1, 2, 3, new champion. The building explodes. Not just cheers. Religious ecstasy. They've slain the dragon. Killed the corporate champion. ECW wins. But Cena does something brilliant. Doesn't leave immediately. Stands up. Slowly. Looks around the building. 2,500 people telling him to die. Telling him to leave. Telling him he's worthless. He raises RVD's hand. Endorses the new champion. Then throws the WWE Championship at him. Not hands. Throws. Disgusted. Perfect heel work from a babyface. He starts to leave. The crowd sings. Nah, 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 hey, 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 goodbye. Cena stops at the ramp. Turns around. Looks at them one more time. Smiles. Not his superhero smile. A different smile. A fuck you too smile. Extends both middle fingers. The building goes nuclear. Backstage, Cena walks through the curtain. Covered in beer. Spit. Various liquids. Possibly urine. Definitely hatred. The ECW originals are waiting. Tommy Dreamer. Sandman. Sabu. They start applauding. Slow clap. Building. Genuine respect. Paul Heyman approaches. Kid, I've seen Terry Funk. Mick Foley. Sabu. All the tough guys. We just took more balls than any death match. You walked into hell, spit in the devil's face, and walked out smiling. Vince McMahon is there. White as a sheet. Thought he was sending his champion to die. Cena just laughs. Says, that was fun. Let's do it again next year. Vince stares. Realizes his corporate champion just proved he's tougher than any hardcore legend. The shower afterwards takes an hour. Washing off beer, spit, hatred, and accomplishment. Cena sits under the water thinking. He just faced 500 people who wanted him dead. Not his character. Him. And survived. Thrived. Fed off their hatred. Used it as fuel. Years later, that night becomes legend. ECW fans admit grudging respect. Not for his wrestling. For his balls. For walking into their house knowing he'd be destroyed, and doing it anyway. For being professional enough to make their guy look good while they tried to kill him. Rob Van Dam, holding the WWE Championship he just won, finds Cena in the locker room. They've worked together before. Professional relationship. But tonight's different. RVD sits down. John, I've been in this business 20 years. Been in death matches. Barbed wire. Fire. Nothing was harder than what you just did. You knew they'd destroy you, and you leaned into it. That's not wrestling. That's warrior shit. The drive back to the hotel is surreal. Cena in a rental car. Championship belt gone. Career supposedly damaged. But feeling invincible. The radio plays wrestling news. Already reporting on the night. John Cena survives ECW. Hostile crowd unprecedented in WWE history. Missing the point. He didn't survive. He conquered. His phone has 47 missed calls. WWE officials. Family. Friends. All worried. All checking if he's alive. Literally alive. His father's voicemail. Son, I watched on pay-per-view. Never been prouder. Never been more terrified. You've got balls of steel. His father, who pushed him into bodybuilding, into wrestling, finally understanding what his son really is. The hotel bar that night is divided. WWE roster on one side. ECW originals on the other. Cena walks in. Both sides stop talking. He orders a beer. Sits alone. One by one, ECW guys come over. Not to apologize. To acknowledge. Taz, the human suplex machine, says simply, respect. That's all. One word worth more than any championship. The next morning, Cena can't move. Adrenaline gone. Body processing trauma. Not just physical. Emotional. Psychological. Facing 2,500 people who hate you leaves marks. Bruises from objects thrown. Ears still ringing from noise. But something else. Something harder to define. Pride. Accomplishment. Evolution. WWE's production truck captured everything. 19 cameras. Every angle of hatred. They edit a video package. 3 minutes of the most hostile crowd reaction ever filmed. It becomes required viewing at developmental. Not to scare rookies. To show them what's possible. What you might face. What you can survive if you're strong enough. The merchandise sales tell an unexpected story. Cena's shirts from that night, the black ones with targets, become the highest-selling limited edition ever. ECW fans buying them ironically. WWE fans buying them respectfully. The shirt that was burned in the ring selling for $500 on eBay. Capitalism consuming rebellion as always. 3 months later, WWE brings back ECW as a weekly show. Sanitized. Neutered. Missing everything that made it special. Cena appears on episode 1. The crowd, different crowd, regular WWE crowd, chants ECW at him mockingly. He smiles. They don't understand. Weren't there. Didn't see real ECW hatred. These are tourists in revolution. Paul Heyman writes about that night in his book years later. Cena understood something most don't. Wrestling isn't about being loved. It's about reaction. Any reaction. The opposite of love isn't hate. It's indifference. Those 2,500 fans cared more about John Cena in that moment than any crowd ever cared about anything. That's not failure. That's transcendence. The Hammerstein Ballroom becomes a pilgrimage site for wrestling fans. The venue where John Cena faced hell. Tour guides point to the entrance. Cena walked through there knowing what waited. Point to the ring. Survived 30 minutes of pure hatred here. Point to burn marks on the floor. His shirt literally burned there. Modern mythology. 2008. Cena returns to the Hammerstein for a charity fundraiser. Some ECW fans attend. One shows a photo from 2006. Him throwing something at Cena. They laugh. Sign it together. Time heals wrestling wounds. Tommy Dreamer does shoot interviews. We wanted to break him. He was everything we stood against. But he didn't break. Just took everything and asked for more. That's not corporate. That's hardcore. The footage becomes required viewing in developmental. How to handle hostile crowds. The lesson, you can't teach it. Either you have courage to face 500 people who hate you, or you don't. John Cena had it. Walked into the Hammerstein Ballroom, knowing he was enemy number one. Knowing ECW fans would try to destroy him. Knowing he'd leave covered in their hatred. And did it anyway. Because that's what champions do. They show up. Even in hell. That's the night John Cena proved something. Not that he could wrestle. Not that he was tough. But that he understood professional wrestling's ultimate truth. Sometimes your job is to be hated. And if you're going to be hated so well that they remember it forever. 2,500 ECW fans came to destroy John Cena. They threw everything they had. Batteries. Coins. Chairs. Toilet seats. Hatred. And when the night ended, John Cena was still standing. Bloodied. Soaked. Despised. But standing. You can't see him. But that night, ECW couldn't break him either.